lines of people just coming in. Huh?
I can't say that.
Can't say what.
Oh, we got problems. Well, yeah.
No, but like, there's nothing backstage. I wanted to come in with like a war outfit. Renaissance football player.
Shit. I can't find them. Oh, there's Simon.
What the
The show will start soon. If that's what you're looking for.
This is a very cool show.
It's starting soon. Be patient.
No, I just like the setup.
Well, thanks. I didn't make it. Hi, Gary.
Hey.
Emitron over here and Simon.
I got sucked in because we're talking about movies.
Oh, well, there you go. You're in the right place.
Good. You're about
Excellent.
to get sucked.
Okay, that was.
Okay, well, let's rephrase. Let's circle back and rephrase.
You know,
Circle back, rephrase.
I was just in here a minute ago and there was no one in here. And I went out and came back.
Well, when you have advertising like that, I mean,
They've all run off.
Hey, what can I say? That's the best I could find. It was hanging in the closet, so you know, throw it on.
you're
Gary- Oh, sorry.
X's and O's. That's the best screen name I found so far.
Thanks.
That's hysterical.
She hates it, don't
I mean, Emerald!
I was right there.
Well,
But they. Oh, are you doing that because yesterday?
she's got
Hi, boy.
You got the proper attire on tonight, though.
It sounds like Red
That's a
Dawn.
YouTube. That's a here.
We got kids.
So many new friends. This is
Ooh, there's kids here.
I have no idea.
Yeah,
They
I
mute
so many
themselves in there,
kids.
and then
Yeah, there's a
Break.
child
and then
down
the
there.
portals go up, and then it's like, yeah, I can't control that.
You failed.
But
You
hey,
are
it's
fired,
nice
Crow.
target
Yeah,
practice. Yeah, you go
Fired.
right ahead. It's target practice.
I'm going
Well,
up.
that's true.
Okay. Well, first of all, no, this is good target
It's
practice.
Crow's fault, not mine.
Nope.
Emmy, are you breeding out here?
Crazy cards over here. If you're
Breeding?
You might love crazy.
Hey, have you guys looked at the portals over here? Come here, look at this. It's so cool. It's so cool.
Are we shooting people? And I'm missing
Hey,
it?
what's up? Hey, sorry, this is over 8
What's up,
place.
Mr. Beast?
Oh,
I did it, son. My first one. Oh my god, and I wasn't recording. Oh god.
I got you. I got you. I got you. These eyes.
Yeah, I
No, I got it.
You, Mr. Beast.
And he
No,
can
you
help us
chicken.
out with this.
I guess you may take me to jail.
Oh my god.
you are in jail. Sorry, it's an over 18.
I wanted to see what was going on. Damn it!
Well, look from the proper viewing areas.
It's not like when you step on stage and it's not time.
All right. Who else is over 18?
I changed.
I am
This
not
way. Back
out.
over 18 or under.
I can show you my.
Oh my god, I love this.
Oh, it's back.
If you want, I can show you my block. I can show you my Blockbuster card.
Your Blockbuster card. I don't know. This girl Emmy looks kind of
King,
young.
where are you at?
What you want, bitch?
Oh my
Okay,
God,
now
King!
I know why you chase me around this place with this sword. It's so much fun.
Just say that to a child.
So at one point, are you drunk with power?
No, no!
Hit him.
Oh.
She gone.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my
Girl
god.
over and
Oh,
over.
Yeah,
shoot.
remove, please. Remove.
Remove.
Oh,
Yep, I agree.
I think you got one right there too, don't you?
Say
Uh-huh.
goodbye.
And then there were
King,
8.
Hey, Crow.
Yeah.
Come here.
You're not welcome on Horizon.
Right over here. Behind you.
Okay.
Now here we go. We can say this is part of the American Gladiator show, and whoever doesn't understand that reference has to get out.
Okay.
Greetings.
I'm sure there's some people here that are too young for it.
Exactly.
Oh, is Dark talking yet?
See, I'm not.
Okay, I think she got the hit.
I guess I'm too young for American Gladiator show, but I guess I'm not young enough to watch Red Dawn. Shall we begin
Hey.
the festivities?
Hey, I was like doing that, but you were ignoring me.
Oh.
Good, man.
You were ignoring me.
You know, that was the strangest thing. I came in here about no more than 2 minutes ago and it was totally empty.
I sent you an invite. You were in a different instance.
Well, the Crow is a wonderful,
Anyways, it popped out.
wonderful advertiser.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I am.
My grandmother's
You made it.
curtains and put
I figured it went well with the 1984 movie that we're about to discuss.
Oh, I gotta get going.
okay.
They're so nice to you.
Awesome.
I'm a
Last minute
Oh, I
invites.
give her a hug. Wait, I'm like feeling you up. Here, give you a hug.
Thanks. I smacked my face on my desk. Who is echoing? I mean, is that you?
I'm sorry. Probably. I don't know.
Let me mute you and see. Hold on. Oh. Yeah, I think it is. I think it is Emmy. Because now I don't hear it. No, Emmy! I'll just go away from you.
Oh shoot!
Live from the Unknown Theater, it's Binge Nation with Who Done It, King Nothing, Wind Magic, and Dark
Whoops.
What? Thanks for coming, everybody. I'm Dark Wolf from the VR Vagabonds, filling in for Colin this week. This is Binge Nation, where every week we either pick a TV show or a movie. And this week we're doing a retro double feature of Red Dawn, 1984, and the 2012 version. So, how many of you guys watched the movie? Did you watch the trailer at least, King?
I watched both of them.
Not Faisal. I mean,
Hazel's not here.
There was no electric penises coming off, so
No
I was
electric
all for it.
penises. Well, he got like halfway through the last one. So anybody in the
There
anybody
was
in
no
the
exploding dicks.
Oh yeah.
No.
Has anybody in the theater seen the original 1984 version?
Most deaf.
I seen the original. That was it.
Anyone see the Chris Helmsworth version?
Oh, actually, no.
No.
Not in a
Okay.
long time.
I saw both. I saw both.
So the original one was it takes place in the middle of the Cold War. I don't know if anybody's old enough to remember that, but in the
It was cold. It was
but
cold.
yeah, in '84 there was a lot of tension between the U.S. and Russia, and it was kind of almost a real fear that there might be an invasion of some sort or a nuclear attack or something like that back in the early '80s. I mean, because there's a lot of movies that was based on that theme of either an attack or a nuclear bomb blowing up or things like that. But this movie was directed by John Milius, who some of you may know directed Conan the Barbarian. Yeah, and it has a lot of famous actors in it, like Charlie Sheen. This is the first movie that Charlie Sheen was ever in. Also, Patrick Swayze was in it. I don't know if
Marty's
anybody remembers
mom.
Patrick Swayze. Yeah. What's her name?
Jennifer Grey, Leah Thompson.
C. Thomas Howell was in it. And this was and Charlie Sheen. This was Charlie Sheen like before he was snorting cocaine out of the crack of a whore's ass.
Before he was winning.
Before he's winning.
So does anybody want to start on what was your favorite moments in this movie, or
Where's my dad?
or y'all just want to try?
Okay. Avenge me. Avenge me.
Yeah, they had a scene similar to that in a new one, but I don't know, it wasn't quite as cool as the 1984 version. I don't think.
Nah, yeah, it wasn't as cool. It wasn't as
Or believable.
melodramatic.
Yeah, and then this one, it was let's see, Russia, Cuba, Nicaragua, and Mexico was all kind of teamed up to attack the U.S. through Mexico. And so they all kind of was it like Colorado was where they were coming in at?
Yeah,
Isn't that where the show takes place?
Yeah.
So I remember like in the opening scene there was like this dude that he had like the bumper sticker that said, "You can pry my gun out of my cold dead hands," and the Russian was taking his gun out of his cold dead hands. That was kind of funny.
We didn't take notice of it, but Rodney noticed that the only black man in the movie was shot 5 seconds into it.
Really? Oh,
God.
Yeah.
But not the second one.
God.
No, not the
No,
second
that
one.
did not happen in the second one. So, they evolved a little bit.
My only problem with the second one, or one of my major problems with the second one, was the enemy was North Korea.
Yeah.
And North Korea does not have enough money to send a bunch of troops and tanks and planes. They would have to like buy a ticket on American Airlines to come over here and attack us.
They probably did it on purpose, though. You don't want to put like a big power in this movie, and like tempt people.
I mean, they made a whole video game franchise over North Korea invading called Homefront.
Now, to be fair, though, that the original antagonist of the new movie was China. But they changed it at the last minute because they wanted to sell tickets in China. So that's why so they had to go back and they had to go back with the computers and change everything to North Korea.
Mm-hmm.
Interesting.
Meanwhile, the North Korean ticket sales are all like,
right. Yeah, I don't think they were
John
concerned
Wayne.
about that. I don't think anybody's watching that over there.
Yeah.
Although I'm sure that Kim Jong-un got a hard on watching that, oh yeah, my people were over there.
He
and
liked
kicked
the
ass.
interview, didn't he?
Yeah, wasn't it? Didn't they like try to attack? They did like a cyber attack on Sony when the interview was released or something like that.
Yeah.
You remember that?
Yeah, and they were going to pull it from the theaters.
Right?
And even Obama was like, don't take it out of the theaters. Don't let them win.
Right.
Okay, so I'm a Walking Dead fan. And
Yeah.
that Jeffrey Dean Morgan was in the 2012 one.
Yes.
So that
was supposed to be in my head.
Okay.
Yeah, I felt like he was kind of taking the place of the Powers Booth character in the original one. The pilot.
I just really
Right.
wanted to see him with a bat. I wanted to see him bash somebody's skull in and see their eyeball come popping out, though. I so wanted to see that.
Yeah.
I think we need to have a conversation about your tendency for violence.
No exceptions.
Yeah, no super glue.
Now, question from the crowd here. Now, any of you on the panel, without the threat of World War III, could you all go in the mountains on a whim and camp out for however long?
Hell yeah.
I definitely
Deer
could.
blood.
In
Yeah,
a heartbeat.
for sure.
In a heartbeat, I would love it. Okay, so the original...
Drink the blood of the deers and everything.
The original
Yeah.
movie.
That was
I can't even tell you how many times I saw the original movie because I was a nerd way back before being a nerd was cool. And we used to we played Dungeons and Dragons, but we LARPed it. Before LARPing was
Nerd
a thing.
alert.
And oh fuck yeah. Yeah. I was a big time nerd. I mean,
I did Dungeons and Dragons.
I was in the
back in the day.
computer club before there was like a computer club. We had 2 computers, and I'm there doing
cardboard
little punch
boxes.
cards. So we watched this movie, and we started playing war games. And one of the teams of war game was the Wolverines. And there was this one kid that would come out, and he'd be holding his what was it, paintball gun? He'd be holding it over his head. Wolverines.
Oh shit!
Am I wrong? Like Dark. I mean,
But you know, when Ukraine invaded, or sorry, when we reverse that, when Russia invaded Ukraine,
Yeah.
the Ukrainians,
say, what are you,
the
Russian?
Ukrainians painted Wolverines on the tanks that they blew up.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Oh, really?
That is freaking
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
I need one of them tanks.
Because I mean, Space Nerd's question it's a prescient question because, as from what I understand, and I don't know if everyone is like familiar with Red Dawn before you suggested it, but like I understand Red Dawn to be like a cult classic of like the survival genre, like one of the OG. Get the sort of preparation thoughts in your mind of like, can I even handle 72 hours or whatever? It was like one of the classic films to raise that kind of question, not just
I
Yeah,
swear
and
that
the
movie is. Oh, go ahead.
Well, I was just going to say that if you contrast the 2 groups of people from the 2012 version and the 1984 version, in the 1984 version, all the guys were kind of from a small town. They had rifles, they had handguns available to them,
basically.
Yeah, so they were kind of like it seemed a little bit more believable in that version than the
one
college
lone
kids that they
Marine
had in
teaches
2012.
everybody.
Yeah, with the one military guy. Whereas in the original, they all were kind of capable hunters, mostly. That was part of that group.
Can you do me a favor?
Or they had
Take
grown
the
up in the
tiniest-
country.
Can you take the tiniest step forward? You got a chair going through your chest, and it's breaking my heart and yours. There you go.
How about that? How about that?
So in the old version, it was all adults.
You can
right?
totally
And then the
move.
new
No, they were
version-
teens.
High school.
Yeah.
Oh, so
Yeah, they were-
okay.
Well, there was
The- the
25-year-olds
oldest
playing.
yeah.
I mean, I know the new
Patrick
version.
Swayze.
Well, yeah, Patrick Swayze was probably the oldest one, but at the time he was probably really like in his early 20s or something like that, right?
Yeah.
And Charlie Sheen was at least 18, 19, something
I
like
think
that.
the youngest.
Kind of like Josh
was
Brolin in The Goonies.
15.
Yeah.
Right.
Right.
But they were all they were all a lot more capable. One of the kids' parents owned a general store or something like that. So at the beginning of the movie, they kind of went and they got all the camping gear and the guns and the ammo and all that shit, and just piled it into the truck, and then they went up into the mountains. and hid out there, while they kind of figured out what the hell was going on.
Now here's another question. With the whole camping scene. Now we know in the 1984 version, I haven't seen the 2012, but we know that the kids eventually come down from the mountain to try and sabotage some of the Soviets, infrastructure. Yeah. With most people dreaming of a career in espionage, what do you think? Do you think your capability as Wind, you say you would definitely survive in the mountains as a camper? Could you go out and say, I'm going to sabotage the shit out of every encampment that I see without being caught?
I would stay in the fucking woods where it was safe.
Well, I mean, that's also part of the whole storyline. Going from a society like they did it better in the 2012, going from a society of just kind of being free for given to you. And then having to be put up against the odds of having to fight for that freedom.
Yeah, it's one thing to like go into war in another country and have to fight, right? It's another thing when you have somebody in your backyard and they're attacking people that you love and holding them hostage. I think a lot of people would be willing to fight in that situation if they had the means.
If they had the means, I think.
I actually kind of don't know.
But you're protecting your.
Simon is their contact, but when they want something,
and put in that position, most people would. I wouldn't, but most people would.
Right. I think one thing that was interesting also is that even though all these guys had all these guns and rifles and stuff, there weren't any like AR-15s or anything in the 1984 movie.
But they
were all like hunting rifles and stuff like that.
Yeah, but that's perfect for guerrilla warfare, which is what they were doing. They weren't taking them head on. So I mean that's great.
Right.
Long distance, get up and go, and shoot once. Don't worry about it. But
she and then they were like, I don't know how they made the explosives or if they found the explosives, but like one point she brought like this basket. She had this basket on her bike, and she went up to that general store, and there's those soldiers were in the tank, and then they tried to steal the basket that she had off her bike, and then she threw it into the tank and blew it up. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and then they tried to chase her, and then they all popped up out of the ground and mowed them down with the guns.
That sounds like Florida. That sounds like Florida.
I think that's mostly how they got the weapons is when they
collected.
Yeah,
they collected them.
They collected them over time. Yeah, from the Russians.
Yeah, but
which was
my biggest thing is with that is they were ambushing people and setting all these other people free, correct? Like saving their lives.
Right. So
recruit more people.
Right. In the first time they come across a group of people that are being accosted by the Russians, they couldn't save them. But the second time, they were able to stop them from killing the people, right? And I believe they did pass out guns and stuff to those people, but they didn't necessarily join their group.
No, they didn't.
I don't think that they took on any new members, right? Throughout the show.
No. Well, they took there was one guy.
He was an army, the pilot.
The pilot. The Powers Booth. Powers Booth.
That took out 4.
Yeah, and then, Powers Booth was in Tombstone. If anybody doesn't remember who he is.
Oh, that's cool.
And then the first time they go into town, they go into the store, and the woman behind the counter goes, "They're looking for you." But then they walk freely throughout the city like they blended in with everybody. Well, they definitely weren't looking that hard if they were looking for you.
Right. Yeah. I guess, if you have a city that big, it would be kind of hard to just kind of narrow down who the troublemakers are, unless you found them with the guns,
Mm-hmm. They were looking for a group of people. It's just the person in the store.
Right.
She knew that they were the ones that were causing trouble. So
that was even before they. That was before they did anything, caused any major trouble. when she said that. That was in the very beginning.
They did something.
Now, I will say, jumping forward ahead, you know, they have the boulder on top of the mountain with the plaque talking about the Wolverines. That's their encampment or whatever. I really think it would be funny, you know, if I had to spend years fighting the Soviets. I would want something a little bit cooler on my plaque on the rock. I'm just saying. I wouldn't want a picture of me posed or something like that, or you know, the fact they even saved another guy. Like,
I think it was. I think if it was a real situation. I think if it was a real situation, it would be kind of fitting because that was their rock that they used as a monument at the time, and so by saving that in its natural state, I think that was a better monument to what happened.
Well, I think watching the tank battle, watching the tank battle from the mountain, you know, as they realized that things were coming to a head, I think that was a really awesome scene.
Now, another interesting thing to note, you know, speaking of the tank battles and the stuff like that, is that this movie, you know, obviously there wasn't any CGI at the time, but this movie did not have any miniature effects and no green screen at all. It was everything that you saw was practical, full scale effects.
Wow! So many dead people. So many people lost their lives.
and
no
the director,
animals. No animals.
No animals.
None were harmed.
No animals.
None were harmed.
The most important part is the animals.
I definitely enjoyed
this was not real deer blood.
I like the
Pop a guys out, no
one,
problem. But don't touch the animals.
Don't touch.
You like the what in the first one?
I like the timeline on the first one better than I'd like the second because it looked like a longer
over 6 months.
Because it was like over a period. Took place over a period of months. You saw the weather change, and it would be like, you know, it would be November, and it was December, and it was January.
Yeah.
It felt like the whole movie felt more of a bigger scale than the 2012 version, and that was one of the things about, you know, John Milius, the way he framed his shots. Everything was kind of a big giant open expanse, whereas in the 2012 version it felt like most of it was filmed in a studio. You know, he had these little small enclosed areas, like at the end, like the whole end scene took place inside of this building that they were attacking, and then they had those. Yeah, and then they had the little mining area that they were hiding out in the 2012 version. But in the 1984 version, no, it's a big open wilderness that they were in.
Yeah, they were.
And I also felt like that the you know, when the kid in the 2012 version, when the kid had the tracker on him, but it wasn't his it wasn't his fault. I think that had far less of an emotional impact than the 1984 version, where the kid knew what he did, and he and they ended up killing his ass.
Yeah,
because in the 2012 version,
he thought he got stabbed.
Yeah, in the 2012 version, he didn't know, and then they let him go.
Yeah,
and then
stitches.
Yeah, but in the 1984 version, he knew what he was doing, and then he got killed for it. And it was a very emotional scene. Patrick Swayze did an excellent job in that scene too, because you could tell like he didn't want to do it, and then another kid ended up mowing him down.
That was the thing. Is like a lot of parts of it you wanted to see.
You would have done it. I bet you would.
Kill everybody, take their dicks.
You know what?
They were childhood friends.
But sometimes you have to do what's necessary for the greater good. And if he's got to go,
what if it meant killing an animal?
Well, yeah, but the animal didn't fucking take the tracker. He did.
Oh.
Can we wait for the orgy to end after the show?
Don't hurt the animals.
The molestation over here is getting out of hand.
Was the character in the 1984 movie?
Did you see what I saw?
Also, the
they're still going.
Was the character in the 1984 movie also the son of the mayor? You remember that?
Welcome back,
is that right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, because that's what happened. He went home in the 1984 version. He went home to see his daddy snuck out, and then while he was there, they captured him and gave him the choice of the tracker and sent him back as basically a mole.
Oh wow! So also one other piece of trivia about this movie. You know, at the beginning of the 1984 movie, they had all these fucking guys coming in with the parachutes and stuff. All the Russians were coming out, and they were parachuting in. 5 of those parachutes actually went off course in real life, and so these Russian guys dressed as Russian soldiers landed, and they had to convince people that they weren't Russian soldiers.
Oh, jeez.
Because they landed in like this kind of hillbilly area, everybody's armed and stuff. They're like, hey, we're not really Russians, we're just actors.
I'm sure he got a pretty mouth.
And also
around these parts.
Also, the tanks, the Russian tanks that they had, that they were hauling around, or when they were driving around, some CIA agents came in and checked up on them to see where they came from.
Let the dog out.
But back to the timeline thing. So in the first one, they trained for months and it made sense. In the second one, or in the remake, it was like 2 week span, and they were all super soldiers,
Marine.
And then Josh, and his name Josh from Drake and Josh. I don't even know. But
I did
his girlfriend shows up at the end of their training, and she just automatically knew how to do everything. And
of course. That's the way they do it nowadays.
Give her a gun. She's awesome. She's a super soldier.
I like it when they're talking about how, we're going to train. We're going to have to learn to work as a unit and stuff. And it's like a couple weeks later.
Right.
Yeah. Right.
Right.
Yeah.
But, we got Call of Duty and stuff,
Right.
Yeah. Well, funny enough, they brought it up in the second one.
And would you say that would y'all say that the Chris Helmsworth character was trying to take place of the Patrick Swayze character?
I actually liked him better than Patrick's character for some scene.
But I felt like
take that back.
I felt like Chris Helmsworth died like a bitch, and then but Patrick's
right to remove. And then no, I'm just kidding.
But Patrick Swayze, he went out when he was shooting the other guy at the same time.
Yeah.
But Prince Helmsworth just got shot in the side of the head like a bitch. He didn't even
while trying to get laid.
I want to know why Dark has such a problem with Thor. I mean, what the fuck?
What is that noise?
I am so Thor.
I heard something about Thor.
I heard spider.
Yeah, I don't know. Something's crawling up the wall over here.
That was totally spider.
The majority of the kids died in the first one, right? Didn't they all?
Right, that was the other thing. Yeah. In the first one, most of them sacrificed.
That way.
Yeah, most of them sacrificed, but for the end of the movie, there was only like 2 that survived. That was it, right?
Yeah.
At the end of the first one,
right?
Which I thought made it seem a little bit more realistic as well.
Yeah.
Right. You're not going to convince me that Josh is going to be 17 years old and save the world. He's going to lead the army now that his brother's dead. You just can't convince me.
Right.
I enjoyed. I mean, I hate that they all died. And
that one also kind of left a bad taste in my mouth was the fact that in the 2012 version, the war wasn't really over at the end of the movie.
Ambiguous.
They left it ambiguous, like they were still fighting it. Whereas in the other one, it was like we knew that this was already a done deal.
Explained what that meant.
Okay, did anybody else have this problem with the first movie? They kept on putting up fucking subtitles to just words. Like it would say like February on there, so you know what month it is. Then it would just be a subtitle of February. Because I don't have my subtitles turned on, but I don't know. Do you guys have that problem?
Well, you're talking about the fact that they used the subtitles at the bottom to tell you what month it was?
Yeah, but then it would put like another one for like hearing disabled people.
Oh no! Well, I didn't have my subtitles turned on, so I didn't see that.
Well, it would.
But I did have to turn mine on because the version that I was watching. Whenever they were speaking in Russian or Spanish, I couldn't understand what they were saying, so I had to turn my subtitles on.
Well, it was on for me then.
Yeah,
but
you probably had
English spoke.
Yeah, you probably
I had that on.
I didn't have. I had my subtitles on, but when they were speaking Russian, like I had no idea what the heck they were saying.
I don't speak a Russian.
I was exactly. I was just trying to be like, oh, okay, cool.
Well, when I turned mine on, it was translating what the Russian guy was saying.
It was.
Oh, mine was not.
Yeah. I think
I
it
feel like if
must
they're
have
not
been because I
translating
knew
it,
what
it's
they
on
were
purpose,
saying,
it's
so I
not
must have been
relevant.
reading it because I don't speak Russian.
You
But I was
didn't
pretty
need
high,
help.
so maybe I could when I'm high. I don't fucking
Some
know.
streaming services will only show you the
usually don't
subtitles of what
translate.
they're
I mean,
saying
it's
if your
nothing,
subtitles
just
are turned off.
Ah, God, is that you?
That makes sense.
Yes, it's God.
I hear
Oh God.
a disembodied voice.
So, there was another thing that I had read about the movie was that you remember the Powers booth and Leah Thompson kind of had a little thing going,
Mm-hmm.
but they actually had filmed a sex scene for that. But the
So that's why
test
she was
audience
all
is
in love with him.
yeah. So the test audience has watched it and they were a little freaked out because of the age difference, so they cut that out of the movie, but they actually filmed it.
I'm sure Spider would have enjoyed the cutting out of the sex scene for no reason.
Right.
If he was here, he would tell us all about it.
He would.
Spider, I shot my
If
first
only
kid
Spider
today.
was here.
Oh, that sounds really good.
I shot her a bunch of times.
In the mouth. I mean, who
So
said that?
out of all of you guys that are up here on stage, out of both of those movies, which one did you think was a superior movie? Because I know who done it said she liked the 2012 one better.
Oh, so
we had this discussion earlier.
Or did you change your or have you changed your mind after you've heard what we've had to say?
So I liked the acting in the first one better. And I guess I like the actors in the first one better, but
Then you like the first one better.
I haven't even seen the first one.
And
I'm more
to be
like
fair,
this-
all the actors in the first one were like movie stars. I mean, they all
Yeah.
went on to be like
Yeah.
have very successful careers.
so it's Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, but wasn't that
Yeah, but all the other
Hemsworth
people,
first?
all the other people are like TV level actors. They're not like movie level actors. Only Chris
Drake and
Hemsworth.
Josh was a movie, okay?
Oh
Hey, and that one guy was
Really?
in
Drake
the
and
Hunger
Josh?
Games.
A lot of movies.
Oh,
the one
Peter,
that played
or Petra,
the
or
one
whatever
that
the hell his
played
name is.
the Korean soldier. Even though he wasn't William
Oh,
Lee, he's in The Good Doctor. He was in
The Good Doctor.
Elektra. He was
Yeah,
in
but that's
Wolverine.
nowadays, though, right?
He's been in a
Not
lot
back
of
then.
movies.
It was the
Wasn't that
Wolverine.
As the main
Right.
character. Or?
Hang on, God
He
is
doesn't
talking.
talk a lot. Sorry.
He's more of
I'm
a
just kidding.
supporting character, but
B-list.
he's always a main. He's in like the main supporting. He's not, one of the fringe.
Did you say he was
Yeah.
ironically in Wolverines?
Then he's
That's kind
just
of
He
ironic.
was in Wolverine.
No,
He was in Tokyo Drift.
I
Is that what you
think
said?
so.
I'm asking more or less.
He was in Altered Carbon also. So
That's a
I mean
good
he's
show-
been
good
in like a
movie, good show.
whole,
Oh,
like an
Altered Carbon!
eclectic-
What a great movie, a great
Yeah.
TV
Good
series.
show.
That was a great
Yeah.
TV series.
Never heard
Really?
of that.
Well, the first season was a great TV series. The second season, I
Mhm.
don't know. I'm a little iffy on it. But the first season of that was really, really good.
For me,
So-
I had to think about it because there's a lot of nostalgia for me involved with the first one.
Right.
I mean, I'm watching this movie the other night and I'm like just remembering war games and having fun with my friends and getting high out in the woods and shooting people. It was a lot of fun.
But that was
But
last
if I
week.
look at both the movies objectively, I'd have to say that if I had never seen either one, I probably would have liked the second one better.
Really?
Yeah.
And why is that?
Because I love Jeffrey Dean Morgan. He
Oh.
needs me. He just doesn't know it.
Yeah.
Just because you like Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
You know
He
what?
needs
Yeah.
to play. He should have played a bigger part in that movie.
I
That's all
really
I'm saying.
I really love him as Negan, but I liked
I
him
don't
better
either.
as evil Negan.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. How about you, King? Did you like the first one or the second
Overall,
one?
I think the first one was the better one, but if there were certain aspects of the second one I would have liked them to put in the first one. The thing with the phone, how they're communicating to each other. I like the fact that Jed was a Marine in the second one. a little bit more background detail that they told you in the second one. So overall, the first one, but if they were going to remake it, I would think they should have added the parts they wanted to add, but duplicated everything else.
Right.
The first one, the big scenes, the longevity of what was going on, that sort of thing.
Right. I think
maybe
for
the
me,
clothing styles for
Well,
so
I
they
mean,
weren't wearing
that was-
the puffer jackets.
They all wore the same
That was
outfits
bothering you
through the whole movie. Like 3 guys had the same jacket and 2 other ones had the same jacket until they were like, you know what? Maybe the main character should have a leather jacket.
I felt like the premise of the second one just didn't work for me. I could not. I don't think that there's any even if North Korea had some kind of a EMP weapon or something, there's no way they could get all the way over here to attack the U.S.
Well, that was I mean, overall for both.
The other
of them,
one, the other one was a slightly more plausible because they were coming by way of Mexico because they had made an alliance with Mexico and Cuba and Nicaragua. So that was a little bit more plausible because you can't, bringing that many planes and ships and everything would just, you'd get shot down before you got over here.
Would destroy them.
They would be destroyed. Plus the fact that North Korea just doesn't have enough money to buy that kind of hardware. Now, if it was China, if they had made the antagonist China, I could have bought it. But I just spent the whole movie like, what the fuck? There's no way North Korea could ever afford to attack the U.S. like that.
They went the proxy war, and they were funded by China.
Yeah, I guess if somebody like Russia or China pumped up a whole bunch of money into them, maybe that. But they didn't go into any of that in the movie, like they did in the original one. The original one, they kind of set the scene that who all the major players were in it, and who our allies. And in the original one, China was our ally in the original movie. They talked about it in the little campfire scene.
Was they went into Bumblefuck America where they have the only thing they have more than beer is guns. How these kids weren't walking around with 3 guns apiece? They come down, pop.
One in my
I mean,
holster right now.
I can understand if they're trying to protect the area from people coming in, but that they were already there and they weren't shooting them before they hit the deck. Nah.
Yeah, and it also seemed like in the 2012 version,
I never understood why they just went into a school. Like, why
would you go to Bumblefuck?
Yeah, why would you start in a? That is why, though. I've thought about this a lot. Those types of movies are why, like the small town that I grew up in the middle of fucking nowhere, population less than 1,000, but they've all got these arsenals because the shit's gonna hit the fan. And movies like that are why these people think that the shit's gonna hit the fan in these little tiny towns. It's not. It's just not.
Right.
There's no fan. The shit isn't hitting anything.
And it seemed like in the 2012 version, they had taken more land as well than in the 1984 version. 1984 version, I think they had only had control over like a few states. But in the 2012 version, Jeffrey Dean Morgan was kind of making it like they controlled everything all the way across the fucking East Coast to West Coast,
which would not happen.
Which would be almost impossible.
Well, also, why would they go to the center of the country when a lot of like our air bases and all those are on so they're basically like just putting themselves in the middle of a big huge trap.
Right.
Yeah, it never made sense to me either.
So that coupled with the fact that I didn't think that the kids in the second one looked capable enough to
they were
have picked up all that, and I just felt like that the first one was a superior movie, and for me it was a weak remake.
I don't know. That kid going through the window though, from the back of the truck into the window. That was like the realistic thing I think I've seen.
Which kid? Which one was that? In the 2012 version?
In 2012, they had like 3 kids in the back while they're in the back of a truck and they're going through town, and they get hit by one of the other Koreans or whatever, and the kid flies out of the back of the truck through the windshield of the.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn right. Because in the first one, they're going down through the fields and you just see boxes and bodies flying up in the air. Nobody falls out.
Yeah. Right.
But nobody cared that he died. Like nobody was like, "Oh no, Timmy, he went through the window."
What?
They were like, "F him, we're out.
Fuck it, let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Let's
Get
go.
to the cabin."
Don't
Chopper,
run over
do
the
it
guys
now.
that are standing looking at you in the middle of the road with a gun. Don't run them over. Drive around them and wreck."
But I don't know if like I know you have. I don't know how many people have driven in the back of a truck. You better hold on, depending on who's
My arms
driving.
are
I have ridden in the back of the truck.
Brakes
I have
stereo
crashed in the
on
back of the truck, and I have been flown out of the back of a truck before.
So the first one, when they're bouncing around, I'm like, that's just not real. And then the second one, dude flies out into a windshield. I'm like, that's the one.
I remember like when I was a kid riding down a gravel road in the back of the truck and like fell out onto the gravel road.
Just a good old boy.
That's how they did it back then.
I'll show you road rash.
All right, so we ready to wrap this one up? We got anything else we want to talk about?
Awesome.
Anybody else got anything else they want to add?
I gotta say, I think it's funny that I take a break and you guys choose the most American movies you could have possibly.
Because this is America.
That was King Nothing's idea. Was Red Dawn,
But it was Wynn that wanted two different movies, and those are the only ones I could find.
The Canadian's gone. Let's watch
there's
American
so many.
movie.
What about like The Shining?
The Shining would be awesome.
Both of them.
Yeah,
The Shining. There's both of them.
Yeah.
But if we have them all, I tried to find things that were like on Netflix, Paramount, Amazon.
Oh, okay.
A lot of work goes into the
Idiocracy.
choosing of what gets watched.
That'd be a great.
So the
movie
next
to
movie
all
goes
of us
through
to watch.
Spider.
There you go.
I'm gonna choose the most Canadian fucking maple syrup movies I can fucking find.
Peanut butter solution. Wasn't actually
Simon, you're muted, just so you know.
Still muted.
Yeah, he's still muted.
Still muted.
I was in a party trying to call you, but you
Oh,
didn't pick
there
up
you
the
go.
phone.
I didn't get a call.
He was
I'm
trying
looking
to
at my phone
find
right now.
you.
I was trying to party again and party with you, and that's why but you didn't pick up.
He wants to.
I didn't get any notification at all.
Yeah, but yeah, we should. But I like that double feature thing. That was cool.
Yeah.
The Shining.
It's definitely. I thought that was really really cool to kind of talk about the contrast between the two movies. That was kind of
Comparing
cool.
them.
Yeah, definitely.
Because us young folks
Gives you
are
a
used
chance
to all
dig
this.
into the past.
That's it, Simon. I'm going to choose La Guerre des Tucs.
Bless you.
New stuff.
All right. Well, I guess we're going to wrap it up then.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, good night. Good night, everybody.
Thanks,
Be
everybody,
sure to
for
check
coming.
out Smoking Jays when you leave here. Tomorrow
For the
at
after party?
9 p.m. EST. Let's hope I don't fuck this up this time. We have the Texas 3 will be on. Thursday at 8:30 p.m. EST will be Comedy in the Metaverse. So come check it out.
Yeah, and go to you to drop. If you haven't yet dropped a like on this world, that'd be great. And if you haven't put yourselves interested in all of our events in the Can't Miss Events menu, even if you don't plan on coming, please go ahead and do that so we can continue to troll all of Meta with our continued presence there. Thanks very much. Thank you all for you. Have a great night, everybody.
Have a good night. all.
Simon, you forgot one thing.
We don't get the music.
Oh, what's next week?
What's next week?
No, not
Oh, next week, Hannibal.
review- yeah.
TV series, Hannibal.
Hannibal. So it's Hannibal for next week, but the Shining is the week after. So what's the deal? What's the
I don't think we
no,
picked
we do the
I don't think we
movies
picked the
next
movie
week.
yet. Yeah, we'll pick a movie for next week.
All new series of movies and TV next week.
Well, all of this, the details will be on the Discord, discord.gg/unknown theater, and the
There you
Binge
go.
Nation channel, where we'll have all the details we're watching and all the IMDb bullshit. Have a good night, everybody. I'm
not done yet.
Oh,
You see my hand is raised.
I can tell. Sometimes in the Horizon Worlds, people get all like,
Yeah.
Laugh
Go
at
ahead.
people who raise their hands. At
Don't forget to you guys can join our Discord. Me and Dark are part of the VR I almost said it.
Go ahead.
The VR Vagabonds. I did put an invite link in the general chat of the Unknown Theater Discord. I'm really bad at describing things, so thank you, Simon, for putting that out there for me, because I'm terrible at it. I just there was a couple people that had mentioned about our Discord, so I just dropped the link in there without any context. So Simon kind of helped me out with that. So if you want to join our Discord, the invite link is in there. We're just quite a few adults that kind of get together and do a bunch of gaming, whether it be Among Us, Zenith, mini golf,
play poker,
walkabout, mini golf, poker. I do poker
poker.
nights on Fridays. I kind of took a break, but we'll start back up next Friday. But that's all I got. So, okay, now I'm done.
Yeah, they're not spam. They're real. You should join them.
Yes, we are real. A real Discord.
Yeah.
I'm a real boy.
Okay, now I'll cue them.
Now.
Okay.
I was trying to look up that link for this one. But, okay. Well, listen, good night.
I saw you chasing that.
Coming back next week, Butter?
Before I even did anything, I changed my attire first.
We don't have to change time.
Well, nobody needed to see my butt cheeks, even though I don't have any on here. But
Sorry, I didn't mean to cut off.
no, you're fine. I just figured that was my chance to actually see.
I gotta say, you and Dark are like, so enthusiastic when we look shit.